didn't know if we were going to talk about this, but I want to kind of open it up to this then. Because I saw a segment on ESPN about this. It was like a 20-minute segment about the future of the sport of college football. Do either of you think it would be possible to have two things? A players' union? Well, no, you can't unionize them. Never mind. No, there's some rules where I don't think it would work. But do you think it's possible that they have a commissioner for college football? Or do you think the Power Five is going to split off and form their own? They're going to operate outside the NCAA and essentially make a college league.
I think they should.
Do they
why
split
not?
off?
They make all their money without the NCAA, really.
Yeah, I mean
the NCAA is not negotiating TV contracts for the Longhorns or for any other team that has their own network. I mean, for crying out loud, what other teams have their own network?
Well, yeah, I mean the Power Five,
Big Ten network. The
Big 12 is the only Power 5 school that doesn't have a TV network because of the Longhorn network. But
right.
Yeah, Big 10 has its own TV station.
I'm saying,
Pac-12,
yeah, I'm saying
SEC. I guess the SEC and the ACC have a deal with ESPN.
Whether it's a league or
that doesn't matter.
It's a single university. These teams are making oodles of money on these TV contracts.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if. It doesn't matter.
Well, and I think the Power 5 in and of itself is so much bigger than the NCAA.
They should break it up. And the NCAA has no real power anyway.
It's a joke. NCAA is a joke.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know.
It's a paper king. Is that a phrase?
But this
Paper tiger?
Yeah.
There you go.
Paper tiger. There it is.
Yeah.
Tiger King. The idea of the Power 5 splitting off, while I do like it, I'm trying to figure out
would the other,
because each conference has its own commissioner. How are they going to decide who is the one commissioner? And then they'll
take turns.
And then they'd have to decide how they'd work out a champion. Because if they were to do this, there's going to be some hard lobbying, and there's going to be these conferences don't like each other. These schools don't like each other, so they're not going to. It would be interesting. I think that college football needs a commissioner or some sort of governing body so things like what's happened this offseason don't happen again, where you have two conferences say they're not playing, three say they do. There's no protocol, uniform protocol that they do.
You've seen just how absolutely terrible the NCAA is in terms of how they run anything. They don't do anything.
They don't have any real power. If you look at their power, they have no teeth. I mean,
well, you saw it with California and other states where they
what
started
is that,
to do
that
the
death penalty that they give to schools for like what happened to SMU
they
or whatever.
They pretend to be an authoritarian.
Yeah, when they want to punish you, they're a big deal.
But they don't. But they are terrible at that.
Yeah.
They can't do anything.
They're
right.
lopsided about it, and there's no continuity.
No continuity with their
no
their
consistency.
Rules. But you saw with California and other states where they're saying we're going to go around the NCAA and we're going to pay players. So they show there's no power.
And that's and it's interesting to me that the Big Ten has been getting so much flack for not playing, and has the Pac-12 gotten any?
Not really, not around. Well,
I understand that it's understood. Sorry, that sounds stupid. I get that it's understood among sports people that the Pac-12 and the Big Ten are friends, and whatever the Big Ten was going to do, the Pac-12 was going to do too, because they did it afterwards. I get that. But isn't it interesting that they have this almost immunity to all this scrutiny?
Well, I think the reason is because of Nebraska and Ohio State and Michigan and all these schools, Iowa, Penn State.
I suppose the Big Ten schools are being more jerk-offs about it.
They're being more. I think they're being more vocal about their opposition.
And the Big Ten also had parents protest at the headquarters and letters, and now I think I saw something that Nebraska players are suing the NCAA or suing the Big Ten. There's this whole thing, and I think it's more so not that they didn't cancel the season. It was more so they were left out in the dark for so long that when it was announced, everybody was kind of like, okay. It's almost like they didn't even have a conversation about a spring league, because now they're talking about playing on Thanksgiving. Which, how are you going to run season when the other one's ending. Like, I don't.
It's a joke.
You can't be part of the CFB, the College Football Playoff, or CFP.
Yeah.
You can't be.
No, you can't.
Because
you have a spring championship. So that's
you wouldn't
why,
have played any of the teams that are eligible for it.
That's why I think there should be an idea where either there's a governing body that says, hey, this is our COVID-19 testing protocol, something to that effect. Not always COVID, but like say pandemic. This is our pandemic protocols. This is our compensation protocols. And like the only way to do that is to have a commissioner or maybe these.
Why not
these
just turn
teams
college
split
football
off.
into what the NFL is and just have like every team has, their own owner or whatever you want to call it.
That's going to be
There's
really
a
hard with
commissioner for
130 teams.
There's a commissioner for we'll split it off a little bit, but there's a commissioner, overarching commissioner, and they negotiate with the players union. I mean, just make it like that. It would solve so many problems. Everybody would still get their damn money, you freaking greedy booster bastards, all right? I mean, seriously, like
No, yeah.
who are the regents anyway, and why are they getting so much money to tell me that I owe more money this year for college? I mean, let's talk about this for a second. No.
Let's just talk about college.
Let's just talk about college in
scam.
general. It's a scam. Sorry.
Yeah, it's.
Let me get off my soapbox.
No, I think that I think it's a good thing because I think this will be the linchpin into
But yeah,
The
where does all this money
NCAA
go?
getting taken out.
Clearly, it doesn't go to anything important because now that like they're forcing students to return to campus so they can get the money for it.
Also, if the Power 5 were to do it, if you get Alabama and Ohio State and Clemson and all these big brand
Their
names,
football teams carry the entire athletic department. That can't be real, right?
it is real. Buddy.
Wow, that's
Billions of
dumb.
dollars.
That's
If
dumb.
those teams do it, then it'll happen.
Universities
We're
live
moving
paycheck
on.
to paycheck. Yep.
We're moving on.
Let's do it.